Paur, senior writer for RealTime Fantasy Sports, and welcome to another edition of the RealTime Fantasy Sports Show. On today's show, I'm going to give you 5 possible waiver wire ads for week 2 of the fantasy football season. I did want to mention, don't get too crazy over the week 1 games. You can't ignore what happened, but don't overreact one way or the other, good or bad. Make good decisions when it comes to the waiver wire and your roster management, and don't overreact to week 1. But with that said, you can't ignore what happened. There are guys out on the waiver wire that can help you going forward, and I'm going to give you 5 possible options for your team. Here's my first one. Patriots quarterback Mac Jones. I was really impressed with the rookie quarterback in week 1. I thought he played a great game against a very good Dolphins pass defense. They have some very good cornerbacks in their secondary. They're very, very talented, and Jones played well against them. He was 29 of 39 for 281 yards and a touchdown, didn't turn the ball over. I think he's going to get better going forward with more seasoning and in more favorable matchups, and he's available in 61% of leagues on our site. So if you need a better number 2 quarterback, looking for somebody to maybe stream on a weekly basis, I would give Mac Jones a look. I think he's going to be a good one in this Patriots offense. My next waiver wire pickup is 49ers running back Eli Mitchell. So Raheem Mostert, he's hurt already. He could miss some time with a knee injury. That means Mitchell's likely the starter for the 49ers. He played great in a starting role last week, in a number 1 back role last week, I should say. He ran 19 times for 104 yards. It was a surprise to see him running as the first back off the bench, but Trey Sermon was not even active, so that means the 49ers definitely have confidence in Mitchell. And if he's starting, I think he's worth grabbing in all formats. And we know this 49ers offense is very good when it comes to running the ball, so Mitchell has some good potential as long as he's in a starting role. My next waiver wire possibility for this week is Vikings receiver KJ Osborne. So Osborne had a big preseason. He earned the number 3 receiver job with the Vikings. He built on that preseason this first week of the season, caught 7 passes for 76 yards on 9 targets. He was on the field for 67 snaps last week. So that means he was on the field a lot, as much as the starters pretty much for the Vikings. He's going to play a lot in this offense as the number 3 receiver. I think he has good weekly potential going forward. He might be a little boomer bust, but I think he'll get some weekly targets in this offense, and he could be a good reserve for fantasy teams. My next waiver wire target is Saints tight end Juwan Johnson. So Johnson got a lot of buzz in the preseason and in camp because of his good play as a guy that might emerge as a starting tight end for the Saints, and he built on that in this first game. He was a top red zone target for the Saints. He had 3 catches for 21 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was not on the field for a lot of snaps, though, so I think he's going to be a little bit of a touchdown-dependent player. So that's a little bit of a concern, but the potential is definitely there for Johnson in this offense, an offense that likes to look at the tight end in the red zone. So if you're looking for somebody to pick up, maybe to stream in the right matchup, give Johnson a look at tight end. My last waiver wire suggestion for this week is Cardinals receiver Christian Kirk. So Kirk's another player. I think he's going to be a little boomer bust on a weekly basis. He has a lot to compete with for targets in this offense, but I think his ceiling's really high in a pass-first offense. He showed his big potential this last week. In week 1, he caught 5 passes on 5 targets for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he's available in 61% of leagues. So again, if you're looking for a bench player, a guy like Christian Kirk's a good pickup for this week. Okay, those are my 5 waiver wire pickups for week 2 of the fantasy season. Good luck navigating your week waiver wire this week. Hopefully you get all those players you put in bids for or you look to pick up on the waiver wire. All right, this has been Jeff Paur for RealTime Fantasy Sports. Have a great day.